At 6:15 a.m., James woke up feeling perfect. Blood pressure under control, exams up to date, daily walks. At 9:30 a.m., he was being rushed to the hospital after a sudden, massive cardiac collapse. What happened in those 3 hours that turned a healthy 72-year-old man into a medical emergency? The answer will shock you because you likely make the same deadly mistake every morning without knowing you are flirting with death. It wasn't what he ate. It wasn't stress. It wasn't bad genetics. It was a 30-second habit that millions of people do religiously, thinking it's healthy, but which could kill you tomorrow morning if you don't know what I'm going to reveal today. If you are over 60, stop everything now and listen to me with total attention because this information could be the difference between waking up normally tomorrow or your family receiving the most desperate call of their lives. There is something cardiologists call the morning danger zone. A period between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. fatal cardiac events spike by 40% compared to the rest of the day. James didn't know this. You probably didn't know either. But now that you do, every second you continue watching could save your life because I'm going to reveal exactly what the mistake was that almost killed James and how you can avoid it completely. Every morning, as dawn barely touched his window, James faced a familiar battle. The jarring alarm was his enemy, his warm bed, his sanctuary. Like millions, James considered himself functional, hitting snooze once or twice before swinging his legs over the side. The routine was ingrained, a quick stretch, a stumble to the bathroom, then the rush. What James didn't realize was that these innocent moments were a perilous journey through a morning danger zone, fraught with hidden physiological traps. It wasn't just about being tired, it was about silent, invisible battles within his body, battles with serious consequences if ignored. This journey begins not with coffee, but the instant his alarm pierced the morning quiet. Imagine your body as a sophisticated machine, transitioning from low-power sleep mode to full operational capacity. This isn't a switch, it's a gradual, complex process. Overnight, your heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, and metabolism settles. But the moment the alarm blares, a cascade of internal events is triggered. Hormones like cortisol surge, preparing for action. Your sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, ramps up. This sudden shift is like asking an old engine to go from 0 to 60 without warm-up. Physiological changes are profound, affecting circulation and brain function. Ignoring this delicate transition is akin to driving a cold engine at maximum speed, risking serious damage to its intricate internal workings. One common, yet dangerously underestimated, morning ritual is standing up abruptly. James often sprang out of bed, feeling a slight head rush, quickly dismissing it. What's actually happening? When you lie down, blood pools in your lower extremities. Standing suddenly causes gravity to pull more blood downwards, leading to a temporary drop in blood pressure, orthostatic hypotension. Your heart works extra hard, extra fast, to pump blood back to your brain. For a healthy young person, this might be just a dizzy spell. But for someone older, or with underlying cardiovascular conditions, this drop can cause fainting, falls, or critically, reduced blood flow to the brain, potentially triggering a stroke or heart attack. It's a silent threat in the simple act of getting out of bed. Beyond rising, another insidious morning enemy is dehydration. Throughout the night, your body loses water through breathing, sweating, and metabolism. You wake after 7 to 9 hours of sleep without fluids. This prolonged fluid deprivation means your blood can become thicker and more viscous. Like mud instead of water in a river, this increased viscosity strains your cardiovascular system. Your heart pumps harder to circulate this thicker blood, raising blood pressure. Thicker blood also increases clot formation risk, a significant factor in heart attacks and strokes. James might grab coffee, but being a diuretic, it can exacerbate dehydration, worsening the condition his body combats. It's a critical oversight, a morning mistake that can compound existing health vulnerabilities. So, James's seemingly benign morning routine, abrupt awakening, quick leap, immediate coffee, is a daily dance with danger. These aren't isolated incidents but interconnected challenges to his body's delicate balance. The transition from sleep to wakefulness is a critical period where the body is most vulnerable to cardiovascular events, especially with risk factors. Understanding this morning danger zone isn't about fear, but empowering knowledge. It's recognizing that small habits can have monumental impacts on health and safety. James's story mirrors many, highlighting how lack of awareness about physiological responses can put us at risk. By understanding these threats, we can transform mornings from a gamble into a nurturing ritual, beginning with the first conscious moments of the day. Good morning, we often cheerfully greet the day, but for our bodies, the first few hours after waking can be anything but serene. Unknown to many, our physiology undergoes a dramatic, often turbulent, transformation during this critical window, what I call the morning physiological storm. It's a hidden threat, a silent battle waged within, and understanding it is the first step to protecting ourselves and our loved ones. Imagine your body as a sophisticated cruise ship. During sleep, it's docked, engines idling, systems in a relaxed, restorative state. This is your parasympathetic nervous system at work, lowering heart rate, blood pressure, and metabolic activity. But the moment your alarm rings or sunlight peeks through, a rapid, almost instantaneous, shift begins. Your sympathetic nervous system, the fight-or-flight response, kicks in. Hormones like cortisol and adrenaline surge, preparing you for the day's demands. Your heart rate accelerates, blood pressure climbs, and muscles tense. This abrupt transition from a deep resting state to an active, alert one creates immense stress on your cardiovascular system, a true internal storm. This internal storm silently rages. Compounding this sudden shift is a fundamental physiological fact: dehydration. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep without any fluid intake, your body is naturally in a state of mild to moderate dehydration. This isn't just about feeling thirsty, it has profound implications for your blood. Without sufficient water, your blood becomes thicker, more viscous. Think of it like trying to pump honey instead of water through a complex network of pipes. Your heart has to work significantly harder to push this denser blood through your arteries and capillaries. This increased workload and thicker blood significantly elevate the risk of blood clots, placing a dangerous strain on an already stressed cardiovascular system right at the start of your day. This increased workload strains the heart. Furthermore, consider the intricate dance of blood pressure. It naturally dips during sleep, then surges upon waking, driven by those very morning hormones. Now combine this natural spike with the effects of dehydration and the sudden change in posture from lying to sitting or standing. For many, especially those who are older or have underlying health conditions like hypertension, this combination can be perilous. A rapid stand can trigger orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure, causing dizziness, lightheadedness, or even fainting. Conversely, the increased effort to pump viscous blood can lead to dangerous spikes, heightening the risk of stroke or heart attack when the body is most vulnerable. This combination can be perilous. The brain, our body's control center, is particularly susceptible during this morning vulnerability. Reduced blood flow, whether due to a sudden drop in pressure or the increased viscosity of blood, can lead to a temporary deprivation of oxygen and nutrients. This manifests as morning fogginess, confusion, or severe dizziness. For individuals with compromised blood vessels, this transient reduction in supply can be enough to trigger a transient ischemic attack, TIA, often called a mini-stroke, or even a full-blown stroke. The brain's delicate tissues are highly sensitive to these fluctuations, making the morning a critical period for cognitive function and overall neurological safety. This critical period for safety. In essence, the morning physiological storm is not a single event but a cascade of interconnected bodily responses: hormonal surges, dehydration, increased blood viscosity, and fluctuating blood pressure. Each factor, seemingly minor on its own, combines to create a heightened state of vulnerability in the first few hours of waking. Ignoring this storm is akin to navigating treacherous waters without a compass. Understanding its dynamics, however, empowers us. It allows us to adopt simple yet life-saving habits that can smooth this turbulent transition, transforming a potential threat into a calm, healthy start to our day. This awareness is not just knowledge, it's a shield, preparing us for a safer, healthier future. A safer, healthier future awaits. Imagine a serene morning, the kind where sunlight gently filters through your curtains, promising a new day. You've just woken up from a restful night's sleep. Your body, however, has been in a state of deep relaxation for hours, its systems humming along at a slower pace. Your blood pressure is naturally lower, your heart rate steady and calm. This is the physiological landscape of your body right after waking. Many of us, in our rush to embrace the day or simply answer the call of nature, make a critical mistake that can have serious, even life-threatening, consequences. This is the first, and perhaps most overlooked, morning hazard, the sudden upright movement. It's an instinctive action, yet one that can unleash a cascade of internal events that your body is simply not prepared to handle, especially if you're older or have underlying health conditions. We often underestimate the profound shift our body undergoes when transitioning from a horizontal to a vertical position. When you spring out of bed like a jack-in-the-box, your body's systems struggle to keep up. Gravity, our constant companion, suddenly becomes a formidable opponent. Blood, which has pooled in your legs and abdomen during sleep, needs to rush back to your brain to maintain adequate perfusion. Your autonomic nervous system, the body's unconscious regulator, attempts to compensate by constricting blood vessels and increasing heart rate. This rapid adjustment is known as orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure upon standing. For some, this might manifest as a brief dizzy spell, a momentary blackout, or a feeling of lightheadedness. These aren't just minor inconveniences, they are your body's urgent warning signals that it's struggling to adapt. Ignoring them is akin to ignoring a smoke alarm. The immediate danger here is the risk of falls. A sudden bout of dizziness can easily lead to a loss of balance, resulting in a tumble that could cause fractures, head injuries, or worse. For elderly individuals, a hip fracture can be a devastating event, often leading to a significant decline in independence and quality of life. But the risks extend beyond just physical injury from a fall. The sudden, drastic changes in blood flow and pressure can put immense strain on your cardiovascular system. Your heart, startled by the rapid change, may have to work harder, and irregularly, to pump blood against gravity, especially if your vessels aren't as elastic as they once were. This increased demand and erratic heart activity elevate the risk of more severe cardiovascular events. For individuals with pre-existing conditions like hypertension, heart disease, or diabetes, the danger is significantly amplified. The abrupt change can trigger a cardiac arrhythmia, a heart attack, or even a stroke. Imagine your arteries, already potentially narrowed or stiffened by plaque, suddenly needing to accommodate a surge of blood flow and pressure fluctuations. This is a recipe for disaster. Blood clots, more prone to forming in slower-moving blood during sleep, can be dislodged by the sudden increase in blood flow velocity, traveling to the brain or heart and causing an ischemic stroke or heart attack. It's a silent threat, often manifesting without prior warning, making it all the more insidious. So, what seems like a harmless act, simply standing up, can, in fact, be a critical moment of vulnerability. It's a small habit, yet its implications are profound. Understanding this physiological vulnerability is the first step towards protecting yourself and your loved ones. The good news is, this risk is entirely preventable with a conscious shift in your morning routine. It's about respecting your body's delicate awakening process and giving it the time it needs to transition safely from sleep to full activity. A gentle morning is a safer morning for your well-being. In our last chapter, we uncovered the surprising dangers lurking in that seemingly innocent act of abruptly jumping out of bed. We learned how it can throw your delicate cardiovascular system into a tailspin, increasing risks of dizziness, falls, and even more serious events like strokes. But don't worry, the morning doesn't have to be a minefield. There's a remarkably simple, yet profoundly effective, solution that can transform your mornings from a rush of potential peril into a gentle, safe awakening. It's called the 2-minute safe bed exit routine, and it's a lifesaver in more ways than one. Imagine starting your day not with a jolt, but with a serene, controlled transition. This isn't about adding stress to your morning, it's about reclaiming a few precious moments for self-care that pay dividends throughout your entire day. The core principle is to give your body ample time to adjust to the gravitational changes as you move from a horizontal to a vertical position. Your blood pressure needs to stabilize, and your brain needs a steady supply of oxygen-rich blood, especially after hours of lying flat. Rushing this process is like asking a delicate machine to go from 0 to 60 in a blink. It often leads to a malfunction. So, let's walk through this gentle, yet powerful, routine together. The first 30 seconds begin the moment your alarm sounds, or you naturally awaken. Instead of leaping up, take a few deep, mindful breaths while still lying down. Feel your lungs expand, bringing fresh oxygen into your system. Gently stretch your arms and legs, wiggling your fingers and toes. This simple act helps to get your blood circulating throughout your extremities, signaling to your body that it's time to gently stir. Think of it as a warm-up for your entire system, a calm prelude to the day ahead. This initial stretching is crucial. For the next 30 seconds, slowly transition from lying down to a seated position. Use your arms to gently push yourself up, avoiding any sudden movements. Once you're sitting on the edge of your bed, let your feet dangle towards the floor. It's vital to keep your feet firmly planted on the ground for a few moments, allowing gravity to do its work. This posture helps your cardiovascular system to gradually adapt to the upright position, preventing that sudden drop in blood pressure known as orthostatic hypotension. You might feel a slight pressure, a gentle sensation of blood flowing down to your feet, which is exactly what we want. Don't rush this vital pause. Finally, for the last 60 seconds of your routine, take a few more deep breaths while still seated. Look around your room, focus on a positive thought, or simply enjoy the quiet before the day truly begins. When you feel ready, slowly push yourself up to a standing position. Use the bed frame or a nearby sturdy piece of furniture for support if needed. Once standing, take another moment. Feel your feet firmly on the ground, your spine aligned, and your head clear. It's during these crucial seconds that your body completes its final adjustments. Only then, after these 2 deliberate minutes, should you begin to walk. This simple habit, consistently practiced, is your shield against morning mishaps and a cornerstone of vibrant health. Imagine waking up after a long night's sleep, feeling refreshed and ready to take on the day. Your body, however, has been working hard all night, performing countless metabolic processes, and guess what it's been silently sacrificing? Water. During those 6 to 8 hours, you haven't had a single drop, and your body has used its existing water reserves to keep everything running smoothly. This natural process leads to a state of mild dehydration upon waking. Many of us simply roll out of bed, grab coffee, and dive into our day, completely overlooking this fundamental need. We think, "I'll drink water later," but that later can have far more significant consequences than we realize, especially right after a deep, restorative sleep. Your blood is primarily water, about 90% of its plasma is H2O. When you wake up dehydrated, your blood plasma volume decreases. Think of it like a river flowing smoothly. Now, imagine if the water level in that river dropped significantly, the current would become sluggish, and the debris, like blood cells and other components, would start to concentrate. This is precisely what happens with your blood. Without adequate water, your blood becomes thicker, more viscous, and your red blood cells, platelets, and other components become more concentrated. This isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's the beginning of a silent struggle for your most vital organ. Your heart has to work much harder to pump this thicker, stickier blood. This increased effort puts considerable strain on your cardiovascular system, especially for individuals already at risk. Thicker blood flows less efficiently, increasing the likelihood of blood clots forming. These clots can block arteries, leading to severe events like strokes or heart attacks. The morning, particularly the first few hours after waking, is a peak time for these cardiovascular incidents precisely because of this physiological state of dehydration and thickened blood. It's not about feeling thirsty, it's about the underlying mechanics of your circulatory system being compromised. What seems like a trivial oversight, missing a glass of water, becomes a silent, growing threat. You might not immediately feel the direct impact of thick blood. Instead, you might experience subtle symptoms that you dismiss as part of a typical morning: a slight headache, a feeling of sluggishness, dizziness upon standing, or difficulty concentrating. These are often your body's quiet cries for hydration. Over time, persistent dehydration and the resulting thicker blood can contribute to chronic fatigue, elevated blood pressure, and even kidney strain. It's a cascading effect where a small, ignored detail can snowball into a complex health issue. The solution often feels too simple to be true, yet its impact is simple, yet profound. Ignoring your body's need for water in the morning is like trying to drive a car with insufficient oil. Eventually, the engine will suffer. Every day you skip that crucial first glass of water, you're adding to the cumulative stress on your heart and circulatory system. It's not just about feeling refreshed, it's about safeguarding your internal engine from unnecessary wear and tear. Understanding this simple physiological truth is the first step towards a healthier, more vibrant morning routine. The powerful antidote to this common mistake is surprisingly easy to implement: ensuring your blood flows freely and your body receives its most vital fluid. After gently coaxing our bodies out of bed with the 2-minute safety protocol, our next life-saving mission begins: morning hydration. Many of us overlook this critical step, rushing to the coffee maker or starting our day without a thought for what our bodies truly need after hours of sleep. Think of your body as a garden. After a long, hot night, the soil is parched, and the plants are drooping. You wouldn't expect them to thrive without a good watering, would you? Your body is no different. Throughout the night, even as you sleep peacefully, your body is continuously losing water through breathing, sweating, and normal metabolic processes. By morning, you've spent 6 to 8 hours, or even more, in a state of mild to moderate dehydration. This isn't just about feeling a bit thirsty, it has profound physiological implications that can dramatically increase your risk of serious health events. Ignoring this thirst is a silent killer, subtly increasing the viscosity of your blood. When you wake up, your blood is naturally at its thickest and most concentrated state. This is a critical point that many people miss. Imagine a river with water flowing smoothly. If that water suddenly becomes thick like molasses, the riverbed struggles to maintain the flow, and blockages become much more likely. Similarly, thicker blood means your heart has to work significantly harder to pump it through your arteries and veins. This increased workload puts immense strain on your cardiovascular system, especially when combined with the sudden changes in blood pressure that occur upon rising. For individuals with underlying cardiovascular conditions, or even those without diagnosed issues but with risk factors, this thicker blood dramatically elevates the risk of forming clots, which can lead to a heart attack or a stroke. It's a prime reason why so many cardiovascular events occur in the early morning hours, often attributed to the combination of sudden posture changes and inadequate hydration. So, what's the solution? It's beautifully simple and incredibly powerful: hydrate immediately upon waking. But not just any drink. While a hot cup of coffee might be your morning ritual, it's not the ideal first fluid for rehydration. Caffeine is a diuretic, meaning it can actually promote further fluid loss, counteracting your hydration efforts. What your body craves, and desperately needs, is plain, room-temperature water. Aim for a glass, 250 to 300 milliliters, or even 2. Room-temperature water is absorbed more efficiently by your body compared to ice-cold water, which can cause a slight shock to your system and take longer to process. Drink it slowly, allowing your digestive system to gently awaken and absorb the fluid without overwhelm. This gentle influx of water helps thin your blood, making it easier for your heart to pump and reducing the strain on your arteries. Consider this morning hydration as an internal shower for your circulatory system. It's not just about blood thinning, adequate hydration supports all your bodily functions. It aids in nutrient transport, waste elimination, improves cognitive function, and even boosts your mood. A well-hydrated brain functions better, helping you shake off that morning fog and face the day with clarity. To supercharge your morning drink, consider adding a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. Lemon water can stimulate digestion, provide a dose of vitamin C, and some believe it helps balance pH levels. A tiny pinch of high-quality sea salt, not table salt, can also be beneficial, providing essential electrolytes to help your cells absorb water more effectively, though this is optional and should be done sparingly. This simple act of conscious morning hydration is a cornerstone of heart health and overall well-being. It's a proactive step that costs almost nothing but yields enormous benefits, potentially warding off serious health crises. By making this a non-negotiable part of your morning routine, alongside the safe rising protocol, you are equipping your body with crucial defenses against the silent threats of the early day. Don't underestimate the power of a glass of water. It's more than just thirst quenching, it's a profound investment in your longevity and vitality. Make it a habit, and feel the difference it makes to your health and energy levels throughout the entire day. Your heart will thank you for this simple, yet profoundly impactful, morning ritual. After navigating the critical first moments of waking and understanding the power of hydration, we now turn our attention to two more insidious morning pitfalls that often go unnoticed: the silent strain during bathroom visits and the detrimental impact of our breakfast choices. These aren't just minor inconveniences, they're daily rituals that, if done incorrectly, can place immense stress on your cardiovascular system, especially when it's at its most vulnerable. Many of us rush through our mornings, viewing the bathroom as just another checkpoint, and breakfast as a mere formality or an afterthought, but in doing so, we might unknowingly be setting the stage for significant health risks. It's time to shine a light on these hidden dangers and empower you with simple, life-saving adjustments to your morning routine. Let's first address mistake number 3, straining during bowel movements. It might seem innocuous, but pushing too hard, especially if you're constipated, can trigger what's known as the Valsalva maneuver. This involves holding your breath and bearing down, which dramatically increases pressure in your chest and abdomen. For a brief moment, blood flow to the heart and brain is reduced. When you relax, there's a sudden surge of blood back to the heart, causing a rapid increase in blood pressure. For someone with underlying heart conditions or weakened blood vessels, this sudden fluctuation can be extremely dangerous, potentially leading to arrhythmias, stroke, or even a heart attack. Studies have shown a correlation between straining and cardiovascular events, particularly in the early morning hours when blood pressure naturally peaks. This isn't about being overly anxious, but rather understanding the physiological toll even seemingly minor actions can take. The solution to this often overlooked danger is multifaceted yet simple. Firstly, hydration is key. Remember our discussion on drinking water upon waking? It not only rehydrates but also aids in softening stools, making bowel movements smoother. Secondly, incorporate fiber-rich foods into your diet regularly. Fruits, vegetables, and whole grains are your allies. Thirdly, don't rush. Give your body the time it needs. Avoid pushing unnecessarily. And finally, consider your posture. A squatting position, often achieved with a simple stool under your feet, can naturally open the colon and reduce the need to strain, significantly lessening the unnecessary strain on your body. Next, we confront mistake number 4, wrong breakfast habits. This isn't just about what you eat, but also if you eat at all. Skipping breakfast, a common habit for many busy individuals, can lead to prolonged fasting, causing your blood sugar levels to drop too low, hypoglycemia. This stresses your body, triggering the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which can elevate blood pressure and insulin resistance over time. On the other hand, a breakfast loaded with refined sugars and unhealthy fats, think sugary cereals, pastries, or processed breakfast sandwiches, creates a different set of problems. It causes a rapid spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash, leaving you feeling sluggish and craving more unhealthy foods. This constant roller coaster of blood sugar not only contributes to weight gain and type 2 diabetes but also promotes inflammation and oxidative stress, directly impacting your cardiovascular health and overall metabolism and energy levels. The good news is that rectifying your breakfast habits can be incredibly empowering. Instead of skipping or grabbing something quick and unhealthy, aim for a balanced meal within an hour or two of waking. Focus on a combination of lean protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates. Examples include eggs with avocado and whole grain toast, Greek yogurt with berries and nuts, or oatmeal with seeds and a spoonful of nut butter. These choices provide sustained energy, stabilize blood sugar, and keep you feeling full and satisfied throughout the morning. They nourish your body, support your heart, and set a positive tone for the entire day, contributing significantly to the long-term well-being you truly deserve. We've journeyed through the morning minefield, uncovering hidden dangers and equipping ourselves with life-saving solutions. From the sudden rise to the vital first sips of water, we've learned to navigate the crucial first moments of our day. But there's one more critical mistake, perhaps the most insidious, that can undermine all our best efforts: ignoring the quiet whispers, and sometimes urgent shouts, of our own bodies. Our bodies are incredible communicators, constantly sending us signals. They don't speak in words, but in sensations: a subtle lightheadedness, an unexpected ache, a fleeting dizziness. These aren't random occurrences, they are vital messages, tiny red flags waving in the wind, trying to tell us something isn't quite right. We often dismiss them as just a bit tired or must be stress, especially during the morning rush when our minds are already racing ahead to the day's demands. But what if those whispers are actually a desperate plea for attention from your heart, your brain, or your vascular system? It's time we learn to truly listen to these bodies' silent warnings. Think about it. Have you ever felt a sudden, fleeting dizziness when standing up, even after applying the 2-minute rule? Or a persistent, dull ache in your chest that you rationalize away as indigestion? Perhaps an unusual fatigue that lasts beyond a good night's sleep, or a headache that doesn't quite fit the usual pattern. These are common examples of what your body might be trying to tell you. Sometimes, these signals are benign, a temporary imbalance, but often, especially in the context of the morning's physiological shifts, they can be harbingers of more serious underlying issues. High blood pressure, arrhythmias, early signs of dehydration affecting blood viscosity, or even neurological concerns can manifest through these seemingly minor sensations. The mistake isn't in experiencing them, but in our ingrained tendency to sweep them under the rug. We tell ourselves we don't have time, or that a trip to the doctor is an overreaction. But delaying investigation can turn a whisper into a roar, transforming a manageable concern into a full-blown emergency. It's about respecting the intricate system that keeps us alive and heeding early indicators. The truth is, many serious health conditions, particularly cardiovascular and cerebrovascular events, don't just appear out of nowhere. They often provide subtle warnings for weeks, months, or even years beforehand. Ignoring these signs is like driving a car with the check engine light on, hoping it will just go away. Eventually, you might break down on the side of the road. In our bodies, a breakdown can be far more catastrophic. We need to shift our mindset from, "it's probably nothing," to, "what is my body trying to tell me?" This isn't about fostering anxiety, it's about cultivating a deep, respectful relationship with our own health. It's about understanding that prevention and early detection are our most powerful allies. Imagine if James, from our earlier story, had paid closer attention to those recurrent moments of lightheadedness or the unusual fatigue before his morning incident. Perhaps a simple doctor's visit, a few lifestyle adjustments, or a minor medication change could have averted a crisis. The power to intervene often lies in our willingness to acknowledge and act upon these pre-symptomatic physiological clues. So, what does listening truly mean? It means taking a moment to pause, to observe, and to reflect on any unusual sensation. It means not immediately reaching for an over-the-counter remedy to mask a symptom without understanding its cause. Most importantly, it means consulting a healthcare professional when something feels off, especially if it's new, persistent, or recurring. Your doctor isn't just there for emergencies, they are your partner in maintaining long-term health. Describe your symptoms clearly, even if they seem minor. Mention when they occur, how long they last, and what, if anything, makes them better or worse. This proactive approach, combining self-awareness with professional medical guidance, is the cornerstone of effective preventive care. Don't let fear or complacency dictate your health journey. Be an active participant, an advocate for your own well-being. Your life, and the quality of it, depends on your commitment to seeking professional medical advice. This entire series has been a call to action, a plea to empower ourselves with knowledge and simple, life-saving habits. From the gradual rise to the first glass of water, from mindful bathroom habits to a nourishing breakfast, each step is a brick in the foundation of a safer, healthier morning. But truly, the ultimate responsibility lies with you, to be vigilant, to be aware, and to act when your body signals distress. Embrace this understanding. Make a conscious choice to prioritize your health every single morning, not just by following routines, but by truly listening to the magnificent machine that is your body. Don't wait for a crisis, cultivate a relationship of respect and attentiveness now. Your mornings can be a source of vitality and peace, not a daily gamble. Let's step into each day with confidence, informed and ready, securing a future filled with vibrant, healthy mornings, full of life. And so, as the final chapter unfolds, we reflect not just on the trials we endured, but on the profound triumphs that forged us. Every challenge faced, every tear shed, has undeniably paved the way to this moment of profound understanding. We stand together at the precipice of a new dawn, not as mere individuals, but as a collective spirit, resilient and truly radiant. The echoes of our past now gently blend with the symphony of our boundless future, a powerful testament to enduring hope and unwavering belief. This is not an end, but a glorious beginning, a vibrant promise whispered on the wind, forever etched in the hearts of those who dared to dream, to strive, to truly live.